time for the GeoGeeks, a regular segment where we bring in a subject matter expert to tell us what's noteworthy in our core ArcGIS products. But today, we're bringing them all together, all four of our peeps, to tell us about 3 things you should know about our latest releases.
The GeoGeek parade continues. Returning from her canoeing and camping trip up in the North Pole, here's our Field Apps GeoGeek Sue Enyedy, here
Hello.
to talk about all of our apps. Hi, Sue. Welcome.
Thanks for having me again.
It's great to have you back here to fill us in on what's been going on with the big November releases. I know all of the apps saw some sort of update in that time. So maybe you can get us started off with, I know one that you use a lot, the field maps.
Sure, Maggie and Mark. So we've had actually 3 releases for field maps in 2024 in February, August, and November, and 2 for ArcGIS Enterprise. And there have been a lot of form enhancements lately, but I wanted to talk about some of the notable updates in working with the map, which is the star of your field maps data collection project. So now in your ArcGIS organization, you can directly open the map viewer from Field Maps Designer. So it's easier to make changes to your map while working with the form and going back and forth, which I find I do a lot. For working offline, we've also provided a few new options. The Field Maps Designer app allows you to enable offline. So if your mobile users go into situations with no connectivity, they have an option to then go offline. Usually working both with the online and offline map are available options, but with the latest release, you can disable offline to prevent mobile workers from adding offline areas, so they only work with online maps, which are constantly up to date. And you can also enforce that mobile users only work with offline versions of the map. And this is a useful feature that a lot of our users have actually asked for because they want to have some control in how their field crew work with the map. We also have a couple of other options. So Field Maps, because it combined our old Explorer and Collector app, it allows you to add markup, and you can add markup whether you're editing or just using Field Maps in a read-only format. But again, some of our users didn't want to have markup, so we can now disable that as well. And finally, we've provided in the November release some industry-specific templates to get you started from Field Maps from scratch very quickly. And templates have been available with our other data collection apps, Survey123 and QuickCapture. So Field Maps, we're catching up to that. We're initially offering 3 industry-specific templates with more to come. These map templates include predefined layers with forms, with some logic and calculated expressions. And the map has some pop-ups and symbology already defined. Once you create the map with this template, you can easily customize the map, layers, and forms to fit your needs. And that's just a few of the new map capabilities with Field Maps this year.
I love that, and I'm really glad that a lot of our user input has been integrated into these improvements. So I think that's really great that our developers are listening to our users. That's fantastic news. All right, so the second app, I know this is one of Maggie's favorites, is ArcGIS Survey123. So tell us about what's new, especially in regards to grids.
Yeah, Survey123 is very popular. It's not just your favorite, Maggie. And we've had 3 releases in June, September, and November. So grids, just to talk a little about what grids are, is they allow you to have a better format for your questions in the survey. And Survey123 has always provided 2 options for collecting with the survey. The mobile app that the users download from the app stores on iOS, Android, and Windows, and also the web app, which you don't need to download and works in a browser, whether you're on a tablet, desktop, or a mobile device. So previously, the grids were only supported on the app. And you use this grid layout so you can arrange your questions in the survey side by side. Usually the questions in a survey form are arranged to take up the full width of the screen. Using a grid, it's a lot more useful because you can now make the most of your layout, especially if you're using it on a tablet, laptop, or desktop monitor. You can maximize how many questions you put in within the form, and it reduces the need for your survey users to have to scroll up and down all the time in the form, and you can better mimic that paper form in a digital survey. What's kind of interesting is you can use grids with pages, and you can also use URL parameters to adjust the width of the grid in the form, or so the browser you can maximize that space and use the most ideal for your survey. And I know, again, this is one of those features a lot of our users have wanted, that grid layout support in the web form. You still use the Survey123 Connect app to author them.
That's great. I know that, like you said, it's been waited for a while, so it's good to hear that that's an option now. I'm really excited to see that in Survey123. Yes, my favorite one. It's the best, but it's not. It's not the only one. There are a lot. They're all great, and QuickCapture certainly has a lot of value as well. So, what's going on with QuickCapture this year?
Yeah, so QuickCapture, we had a release in March and one in September. I think what an interesting capability that we recently added is how you work with those project variables. So QuickCapture is designed to enable very rapid data capture at the tap of a button. So typically most of your attributes, they are configured for automatic capture with each tap of a button, but you can add up to 10 user input variables, allowing your users to provide additional information. So, for example, they might want to type in some additional text or comments. This year, we allow you to configure those project user input variables using a dynamic list. And this is done by associating the input variable list with an existing feature layer or table, and it will automatically populate from field choices you specify. So as a mobile user, they will just select from this list, and the list is always updated because it's associated with a layer or table in your ArcGIS organization. I think it's a really great enhancement for providing some additional capabilities with the QuickCapture project. And it's something you could do with Survey123. And now you can do it with QuickCapture, and you just configure it with the web designer to add to your form. So it's really useful.
Useful indeed. Sue Enyedy, that's incredible. Thank you so much for sharing all of these new features in Field Maps and Survey123 and in QuickCapture. We really appreciate it, and have a great holidays. Have a cup of wine for me.
Thank you. And there'll be lots more to come in 2025 for the mobile apps. Thank you.
I'm sure there are. Thank you very much. That's Sue Enyedy. She's the product specialist for mobile solutions with the project management team, and she's currently hanging out on Candy Cane Lane in Hamilton.